I'm Michaela Chavez in Kerrville, where the entire community needs our help, including first responders. I'll show you how some from the Coastal Bend are working side by side here in Central Texas.
Big changes are coming to this intersection and this one, all in the London area. I'm Tony Jaramillo on the south side, and I'll tell you what's the driving force behind that change.
Stuck going back and forth. I'm Adam Beam in Sinton, where parents tell me they're going up against the district as I take a look at their concerns.
Why were certain students allowed to take these courses, but our son was not?
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for waking up with the Hoffmans. I'm Michelle Hoffman.
And I'm Brian Hoffman. Oh, what a great day we have, because we are almost done with the week. It is Thursday, folks, and we got to check in with our master meteorologist, Julia Quade. She's standing by with a look at the roadways before you head on out the door. Good morning, Julia.
Good morning.
Hey there, good morning, you guys. So the roadways are going to be dry for us all throughout the day today. Very different from yesterday, seeing those really heavy downpours passing throughout some portions of Coastal Bend, especially in Nueces County, triggering that flash flood warning that went into place yesterday before it got canceled because those heavy rainfall began to dissipate. But for us today, again, having drier air in place from Saharan dust, that thicker plume now arriving in our area. So we're going to have some really thick and widespread haze in our forecast today. But focusing on those roadways, right now things are going to be moving pretty well, heading on Ocean Drive as well as on SPID, heading on Saratoga, all those shades of green, noting that there's no congestion on any of those three roadways right now on your Thursday morning. Heading on over to Flower Bluff, a little bit of a slowdown happening throughout portions of Waldron Road, so you may want to have that in mind if you plan on taking that roadway. All clear for your drive heading on Flower Bluff Drive, and as per usual, each and every morning, get a little bit closer towards the gate and as Corpus Christi. You can expect a little bit of a medium speed slowdown right now at this hour. Then heading on to the JFK Causeway, going to from the island, again looking at easy driving conditions with no issues there. More details we expect for your forecast and for your upcoming weekend forecast in just a bit.
Yeah, Julia, thank you so much. You'll have your forecast in just a bit. But first, it is now day 7 of search and recovery in Central Texas. The death toll has climbed to 119 and 173 people are still missing. While up in Kerrville, our Michaela Chavez ran into some familiar faces from Alice. A group of volunteers traveled early Wednesday morning to make meals for first responders. Mikasa Home Health Agency partnered with members from the Church of the Overcomer in Alice to bring helping hands and words of encouragement. And they weren't the only ones from the Coastal Bend who showed up to help. South Texas Family Planning and Health from Corpus Christi has been working on the front lines.
It's amazing to see South Texas representing out here. A lot of people came to our aid when we had Harvey, so it's wonderful to give back.
Some of the group headed back home Wednesday evening. Others might stay a couple of more days for as long as they're needed. Stay tuned for 20 minutes of nonstop news for Michaela's full story.
Well, Pitmaster Pete Trevino is preparing his grill, Big Bertha, to help flood victims in Kerrville. Trevino is working with nearly 5 different businesses to make this all happen. And with the help of Alberto, the owner of Hard Life Bait and Tackle Shop, Trevino will load all of the items onto a 43-foot trailer to drive up to Kerrville. Trevino and Big Bertha will head up to Kerrville in about 2 weeks, too. This weekend, Trevino and other business owners will host a barbecue fundraiser over at Politics, Sports, and Games Bar on South Staples. That starts up at noon. And if you want to send any donations to the Scripps News Group and Scripps Howard Fund to make sure that your funds actually go to where they need to go to help out the victims in Kerrville, you can scan the QR code you see on your screen or simply text the word flooding to 50155. And of course, if you'd like more information on how you can perhaps volunteer or help out directly those victims in Central Texas, just scan that QR code you see on your screen or go to our website, christv.com.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter on the south side. 3 intersections in the London area will soon become all-way stops. And there's a one-word explanation for the change: safety. Tony Sines has lived on County Road 51 for 6 years. In that time, he says he's witnessed the London area's rapid growth, which presents a few safety concerns. On Wednesday, Nueces County Commissioners approved new stop signs for 3 intersections along County Road 22. Crews will install stop signs at County Roads 49, 51, and 53. Commissioners say the cost will come from the county's road and bridge fund. Precinct 4 Commissioner Brent Chesney says the county is trying to prevent accidents before they happen. New Essex County Commissioner Brent Chesney tells me he'll push for this same change at County Road 22 and County Road 47 in the near future. I'm your neighborhood news reporter on the South Side, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Stuck going back and forth. I'm Adam Beam in Sinton, where parents tell me they're going up against the district as I take a look at their concerns.
Why were certain students allowed to take these courses, but our son was not?
Back in May, Charles Suarez, along with several other parents, reached out to me. All told me their children were students at Sinton High School, and all of them were denied an opportunity to take certain courses. Suarez says these issues in part stem from conflicting rules and requirements in the district's course catalog. In a statement to Chris 6 News, the district also wrote that they are actively addressing the concerns around dual enrollment courses.
When you have administrators at the top do things that should not be done, it shouldn't be allowed.
And if you have a story that you think Adam could cover in your neighborhood, you can always reach out to him, adam.beam@christv.com.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Thursday. So heading out the door today, things are going to be very different in terms of what you expect in your forecast overall for us today. Compared to yesterday, we're not going to have any rainfall happening anywhere here in the coastal bend. Things are going to be very dry and hazy as that thicker plume of Saharan dust makes its way into, or at least arriving here in the coastal bend already. So as you can see on Doppler radar, there's not going to be a hint of any precipitation making its way into our area this morning, and not at any point today. Again, all in the front of that arrival of that drier air mass coming in from that Saharan dust that's arriving in our area. So you can see, looking at moisture tracker, can see those more yellowish hues making it towards our map here, noting how that air is going to be drier for us in the forecast. So that also means you're going to feel a bit of a difference right now heading out the door too, that moisture and humidity is not going to be quite as much as a factor, so it's not going to feel quite as muggy and humid right now stepping outside your door to get your Thursday started. Temperature-wise, sitting at 74 degrees here in Corpus Christi, 73 over in Beeville, 82 right now in Port Aransas, and 80 degrees is your temperature over in Rockport. It's not showing behind me, but I can also let you know too that our feel like temperatures aren't going to be separating too much, at least this morning right now at this hour, from where our air temperatures are sitting, again due to that extra bit of dry air that's right now settling into our area. So that's why things are again are going to feel less muggy and humid. See our winds clocking around 10 miles an hour or less across most neighborhoods, so a bit of a light breeze coming in as we look ahead towards our morning hours today. Looking at hour by hour forecast, things are going to also be a little bit more sunny for us this afternoon too, and actually this morning as well, because with that drier air, it's going to take away much of that moisture that leads to extra cloud cover that was in the forecast yesterday. So less cloud cover today, more sunshine, warmer temperatures reaching towards those lower 90s by this afternoon, and eventually reaching our afternoon high temperature of 94 degrees. Some neighborhoods could see their afternoon high temperature reach a little bit warmer than that, all due to, again, that Saharan dust. So again, drier air allows for a little bit more variability in our temperatures, having a bit cooler condition in the morning, and by the afternoon, things are going to get pretty hot and dry here in the coastal bend. So that's the type of forecast we can expect for us today and ahead for us tomorrow. But that Saharan dust is going to begin to dissipate a little bit by Thursday, or I should say by Friday afternoon rather. And with that, we'll see a little bit more moisture returning back to the forecast, giving us some more rain chances by this weekend.
Thanks, Julia. So changes are coming for neighbors who have student loans. Coming up, Scripps News Group Joe St. George will break down the new rules for all of us. Welcome back, folks. 6:12 is your time on this Thursday morning. Taking a live look from our station Skycam, looking at downtown Corpus Christi in the Bay. Looking gorgeous right now. I'm going to be checking in with our meteorologist, Julie Quady, in just a little bit. But first, we head to Washington. The Department of Education announced on Wednesday that student loans in the SAVE plan especially will start accruing interest yet again in August.
Now, to talk more about this, Scripps News Group Deputy Political Director Joe St. George joins us this morning. Good morning, Joe. So can you remind our viewers why so many Americans have had interest on hold since last summer? And is this the only student loan policy change coming?
Bottom line, if you have a federal student loan, and there's a good chance that people watching us right now either have one themselves or know of someone with a student loan. After all, more than 40 million Americans have a form of student loan debt right now. But bottom line, things are changing, and there's a good chance that you may have not paid interest on student loans for several years, or perhaps you've been benefiting from a Biden plan on this or a COVID era plan on that. Those are gradually shifting and going away. And we'll start with what's changing in the near future, and that is for Americans enrolled in the SAVE repayment plan. Now, this is the signature repayment plan of the Biden administration. The Department of Education under President Trump is saying it's time for enrollees in this plan to start paying interest again. They haven't for the last year because there were lawsuits challenging the legality of the SAVE payment plan. So there's been a little bit of a limbo period here. That limbo period will end August 1st. So noteworthy there. People's debt will begin to get more expensive. Debt will become larger because of interest rates. This isn't the only change being implemented here in Washington regarding student loans. In the last several weeks, we've reported on efforts to change public service student loan forgiveness, maybe make it a little bit harder to qualify for that. Additionally, there have been efforts to begin collecting on individuals who defaulted on their loans over the years. And then there is the One Big Beautiful Bill. We've talked about that extensively over the last week or so, last month really. In that legislation, student loan changes as well. There will be fewer repayment plan options in the future. This will be rolled out over the course of the next year or so. That SAVE plan, 8 million Americans were part of it. That'll be going away entirely. Experts, analysts are saying that good chance that monthly payments could go up as a direct result of all these changes. One other notable change, and this is for the parents out there with a high school student, maybe interested in becoming a doctor. There will be new caps on federal student loans, how much you can take out. And already the medical community especially are sounding the alarm. They're worried about just access to loans to become a doctor. It's expensive to go to medical school after all. So, guys, a lot of changes on the horizon. First big change is this interest. That'll start August 1st.
Well, thanks for letting us all know, Joe. Thank you so much.
Yeah, a lot to take in. Thanks for your insights, sir. Looking forward to talking again very soon.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Thursday. So waking up today, things are going to be a little cooler for us on the front of that drier air settling in from that Saharan dust. That's also taking away our rain chances. Things are going to be off towards a drier note as we look ahead towards the end of your work week for now. Before we go ahead and get into that, let's actually go over yesterday's rain event where we saw some really heavy downpours happening, especially in New Essex County and particularly on the south side, where we saw in terms of total rainfall accumulation across the area there, again, specifically portions of Clayburgh and New Essex County there, seeing around half an inch or maybe totals of an inch of rain. But the issue isn't really the total accumulation, it's the accumulation tied towards the amount of rain that fell in a short period of time, particularly from that system, that line of showers and thunderstorms that passed through New Essex County, triggering those flash flood warnings that went into place yesterday afternoon. But again, for today, things will be off towards a very different note for us. Very dry, no rainfall expected in the forecast today or most likely for tomorrow. Looking at Future Tracker, we can see those yellowish plumes or yellow hues at least coming into the map here, noting that air is going to be drier for us here in the coastal bend. That's what's going to lead towards dry conditions and no expected rainfall here for us in the forecast. Looking at Doppler radar, can see no hints of any rainfall or precipitation happening for us right now at this hour, and that picture is going to stay pretty much the same all throughout the day today. Now, again, like I noted, things are going to be off towards a drier note from Saharan dust, so it's also going to be tied towards our temperatures feeling and being slightly cooler. So you can step outside right now, starting your day on this Thursday morning, and you're going to notice it's not going to feel quite as muggy or as humid as it's felt for the past few days because of the lack of moisture that's currently out there in our atmosphere. So looking at our temperatures here, still going to be hanging out towards those lower 80s though for areas that are along the coast, but you can also see feel like temperatures are slightly closer towards their actual air temperature values. That's a little different from yesterday as well. Again, pointing towards how that lack of moisture is going to be tied towards slightly less muggier conditions for us in the forecast today. But we'll also see those temperatures increase to slightly above average conditions throughout some neighborhoods. Here in Corpus Christi, going to have a forecast high temperature of 94 degrees under mostly sunny skies with that widespread haze coming in from that Saharan dust. Can see that thickest plume arriving in our area right now, going to continue to circulate throughout South Texas, eventually clear clearing out as we head towards your Friday. So hopefully we can see a bit of improvement with our air quality on Friday afternoon and leading towards your Saturday. But right now it looks like we're still going to be in that moderate zone with some unhealthy air in place that's going to cause a bit of an issue for folks who might be a little bit more particularly sensitive to these type of conditions. So just make sure you limit your time outdoors, especially today with that Saharan dust arriving in its thickest bunch today. But then as it starts to dissipate on your Friday, see rain chances to return for this weekend.
The No Tax on Tips Act. I'm Erin Holly in Rockport explaining what this act means and how service industry workers in the Coastal Bend feel.
Well, the YMCA, the Coastal Bend, is going independent. Coming up after the break, why they're asked to part ways with the national brand and what that means for members. Welcome back, folks. Well, there is a change that's happening over at the local YMCA. They're actually parting ways with the national brand and going independent. When we first told you about this development last week, the local chapter says that they were given an ultimatum in May from the national brand. They were told to either close the facility or part ways. Neighbor News reporter Alexis Scott spoke with the facility's marketing and media consultant about the new changes.
We know how and why we're needed in this community. We serve so many people, a lot of people that are normally underserved, a lot of underprivileged communities. And to see this building gone, it would affect so many people.
So Alany says that not much will change for its members. All existing memberships will transfer to the new organization and remain valid through their current term. The facility will also continue to offer fitness classes, childcare, youth camps, and a variety of wellness programs.
All right, good morning. I'm taking a live look outside of our First Community Bank Skycam atop the USS Lexington, where you can see that widespread haze in our skies, kind of clouding up our view from the hints of sunrise beginning right now. Focusing on that traffic flow, things are looking good heading on the new and Old Harbor Bridge at this moment, with no congestion happening on any of those bridges right now. Let's go and take a look at the rest of those traffic flow maps, so what you can expect on other roadways starting your Thursday morning here, heading on towards downtown. You can see things are looking clear on Ocean Drive, down the SPID, and on Saratoga, with very minimal congestion happening throughout those three roadways this morning. Moving now on over towards Flower Bluff, you can see a little bit more heavier congestion happening throughout portions of Waldron Road with some slower movement there, so just make sure you want to keep that in mind. Bit of a medium speed when you get a little bit closer towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi, but that's the norm that we have each and every morning here in the Coastal Bend. And looking here at our drive on the JFK Causeway going to and from the island, again looking at pretty easy traffic flow for your drive on this Thursday morning. More details on your forecast coming up in just a bit.
Now, weather on the 6s.
Hey there, good morning, happy Thursday, and welcome on back. Right now we're taking a live look outside on our CCC Skycam over at Snoopy's Pier. Can make out that very thick haze out there in our skies right now, along with some partly cloudy skies, but those clouds are not really going to obstruct our view from our sunrise right now. What's going to be that thick haze from that Saharan dust, that thickest batch now arriving here in the Coastal Bend. Now it's going to cause us some issues with our air quality today, extending towards tomorrow, and we'll see our temperatures increase by this afternoon by a few degrees, maybe get a tad bit warmer today throughout some neighborhoods by this afternoon compared to yesterday. But another key difference is going to be no rain in our forecast right now. Taking a look at Doppler radar, we can see things are going to be very dry all throughout the area this morning. It's going to continue throughout the remainder of our Thursday. And another factor to go along with that Saharan dust pushing in, giving us drier conditions, is things are going to feel a little bit cooler this morning compared to yesterday, because drier air, there's going to be less moisture and humidity, so you're going to notice heading out the door, starting your day on this Thursday, that things are going to feel a little less humid and muggy in terms of how our feel like temperatures are going to be a little bit closer towards where our air temperature is sitting right now. So here in Corpus Christi sitting at 74 degrees, 82 over in Ingleside, matching with your feel like temperature, also at 82 degrees, and Rockport sitting at 80 with a feel like temperature of 84. So again, a little less discrepancy or differences between the two, noting how that moisture is going to be on the lighter side of our spectrum here as we see more drier air settling into the area. So we can see, looking at moisture tracker, a lot of hues of yellow here that's going to linger into tomorrow, allowing that Saharan dust to really give us more of those drier conditions. That's taking away our moisture. That's going to give us less cloud cover and less rain opportunities today and for us tomorrow on your Friday as well. Looking at our planner, we'll be seeing that waking up to partly cloudy skies, less cloud cover again on the front of that drier air settling into place, and then a eventually looking at sunny conditions by this afternoon, but that widespread haze still might obstruct our view from that sunrise a bit this morning, but it does make for beautiful sunrises and gorgeous sunsets. But again, we'll see warmer temperatures reaching towards those lower 90s, maybe flirting a little bit towards the mid to upper 90s throughout some neighborhoods, just because drier air is a little less dense compared to air with moisture in it. So that allows the temperatures to warm up quickly and cool down quickly. So that's why things are feeling a little bit cooler this morning. And as we'll see by this afternoon, things are going to warm up pretty rapidly as we head toward this afternoon. Looking at Saharan dust tracker, we can see this thickest plume right now making its way across South Texas, specifically here in the coastal bend. It's going to continue to linger in the area all throughout this afternoon, eventually starting to clear out as we head towards tomorrow on your Friday afternoon specifically. So we'll start to hopefully see a little bit of improvement in our air quality maybe later on in the day on your Friday, and then ahead for your weekend on Saturday. But along with our heat risk today, things are going to be improving on that note as well. Because of that drier air, our feel like temperatures aren't going to jump to any super high range there. Still going to be in the triple digits throughout some neighborhoods, especially for areas that are along the coast. So you'll still be towards that moderate risk for heat danger there in the forecast there. But again, things will be better today, but then look ahead towards that moisture slowly coming back to the mix ahead for us on your Friday, and then really coming back to the area on Saturday as that moisture begins to rebound after that Saharan dust begins to dissipate on your Friday afternoon. We'll be looking at more humidity coming back to the area. Temperatures still going to be towards those lower 90s though, and as moisture comes back, we'll see our rain chances also return to forecast this weekend before we dry out ahead for the early start of the next work week.
A heartbreaking crash and no answers. I'm Ana Conejo in Beeville, speaking to a family who's in desperate need to find out who hit their loved one and left them to die.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Morning, KRS 6. This is Pete Trevino, owner of Big Bertha, over here on the west side. Just want to wish everybody good morning over here on the west side in the Coastal Bend area.
Hey, good morning, Pete Trevino. Thank you so much for all that you do for our community. We really appreciate it. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout out video, just like the one you saw, make sure you scan the QR code that you see on your screen or go to our website, christv.com.
A Beeville family is living a nightmare. Weeks after their loved one was killed in a motorcycle crash in Corpus Christi, they're still seeking for answers. I'm Ana Conejo, your neighborhood news reporter in Beeville, speaking to the family, who says they hope someone will come forward.
A special seat stands empty inside the no-name cantina in Beeville. It's there in memory of Army veteran Tim Raska. He was the owner of this bar. He died in a motorcycle accident last month on North Padre Island Drive near Berry Lane. After his service in the Army, opening the no-name bar was Tim Raska's dream.
It's really hard. It's really hard on the kids. It's hard on me. It's hard on his parents to not have answers and not to know why somebody left him on the side of the road to die.
Tim's widow, Lilian Raska, says his bar has been a safe place for many.
He would introduce himself and shake their hand and welcome them. And they left with a feeling of acceptance.
Lilian says Tim was well loved in the community and among members of his motorcycle club.
He was anything and everything to anybody. It didn't matter who they were. He was just a very kind, caring soul.
Tim's daughter, 11-year-old Sadie Raska, has had many sleepless nights since his passing.
I'm still waiting for him. I just feel like he's gonna walk through the door with a lame excuse on why he was gone for so long.
They plead for the community to help them find out what led to his death.
From the start, we were never informed about his death. I had to reach out to our club members to find him.
The Corpus Christi Police Department tells us this is an ongoing investigation.
We need to know why. I mean, he laid there dying. And it wasn't right. It wasn't his time.
Once again, the family seeks for any help or any tips that they can get and urge you to contact them or Corpus Christi Police Department if you can help with the investigation. Reporting in Beeville, I'm Ana Conejo, Chris 6 News.
Hey there, good morning. Happy Thursday. So heading out the door, you're going to notice no rainfall in the forecast today, and things will feel a little bit cooler from that drier air settling in from that thicker batch of Saharan dust that's arriving here in the coastal bend this morning. Take a look at Doppler radar. No showers happening here in the coastal bend. That's going to continue to be the same picture all throughout our day today, and as we look ahead towards the majority of tomorrow on your Friday. Right now, we can see that thickest plume of Saharan dust right now settling its way in here in the coastal bend. It's going to continue to linger here in the area all throughout the day, then beginning to dissipate as we head towards your Friday afternoon. So we'll see a little bit of an improvement, hopefully, with our air quality after it starts to push its way out of our area. But for today, widespread haze expected, as well as some warmer temperatures, an extra bit of sunshine in the forecast today. See those temperatures reaching toward those upper 80s by midday, eventually reaching those lower 90s, maybe flirting a little bit towards those mid 90s during the afternoon, as we'll be looking at mostly sunny conditions at that point. Also, can see those temperatures increasing, or I should say wind speeds rather, increasing towards around 15 miles an hour during the course of our afternoon. And also we can expect some gusty winds going upwards near 20 to 25 miles an hour with faster wind speeds by this afternoon as well. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, hazy conditions will extend today into tomorrow on your Friday before that Saharan dust begins to dissipate by your Friday afternoon. Then as that Saharan dust begins to leave our area, we'll start to see moisture return back into the forecast here in the coastal bend. That's going to elevate our rain chances as we look ahead towards the early part of this weekend.
From Chris 6, this is 20 minutes of non-stop news.
Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of non-stop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. We'll check in with meteorologist Julia Quady in just a bit. But first, it's day 7 of search and recovery in Central Texas. The death toll has now climbed to 119, and 173 people are still missing. Search teams continue looking for any signs of those still missing.
But despite their pain, they are not giving up on the search for victims. Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter Michaela Chavez met up with some Coastal Bend neighbors who are helping with the search.
I'm Michaela Chavez in Kerrville, where I ran into some familiar faces from back home. A group of about 25 volunteers from Alice came here early Wednesday morning to get here and start preparing meals for first responders.
We took off 4:30 in the morning. We hit the road.
2 trailers.
So this is what it's all about.
Dozens of volunteers. 1 cause.
We're going to prepare a meal for first responders and those that are needed in the community. For over 300 people are going to be served.
Mi Casa Home Health Agency partnered with members from the Church of the Overcomer in Alice to bring helping hands and words of encouragement.
And what a very reliable scripture that can provide a lot of comfort and spiritual comfort for those in this time of need.
But their efforts couldn't have happened without you.
As soon as we started letting our community know, different people in our community wanted to be part of it.
Certain community members in Kerrville are assigned to pick up the food and take it to those rural areas where the search and rescue missions continue. And they weren't the only ones from the Coastal Bend who showed up to help.
We've seen chainsaw injuries, we've seen sprains and strains.
South Texas Family Planning and Health from Corpus Christi has been working on the front lines. Tuesday alone, they helped about 100 people.
We're bandaging, providing antibiotics, steroids, and making sure that they're safe to help others find their loved ones.
Because that's just what Texas does.
It's amazing to see South Texas representing out here. A lot of people came to our aid when we had Harvey, so it's wonderful to give back.
We don't lose hope and we don't lose faith. And this is the very proper moments that we can lean on God and trust in Him to give us that comfort and the peace. Our community down in Alice and South Texas, we have you in our hearts in prayer for peace, comfort, and strength as well.
Mi Casa Home Health Agency plans to head back Wednesday after their last meal is handed out. In Kerrville, I'm your Sunrise reporter Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 Sunrise.
I'm Tony Jaramillo, your neighborhood news reporter on the south side. 3 intersections in the London area will soon become all-way stops. And there's a one-word explanation for the change: safety. Tony Sines has lived on County Road 51 for 6 years. In that time, he says he's witnessed the London area's rapid growth, which presents a few safety concerns. On Wednesday, Nueces County Commissioners approved new stop signs for 3 intersections along County Road 22. Crews will install stop signs at County Roads 49, 51, and 53. Commissioners say the cost will come from the county's road and bridge fund. Precinct 4 Commissioner Brent Chesney says the county is trying to prevent accidents before they happen. Nueces County Commissioner Brent Chesney tells me he'll push for this same change at County Road 22 and County Road 47 in the near future. I'm your neighborhood news reporter on the South Side, Tony Jaramillo, Chris 6 News.
Stuck going back and forth. I'm Adam Beam in Sinton, where parents tell me they're going up against the district as I take a look at their concerns.
Why were certain students allowed to take these courses, but our son was not?
Back in May, Charles Suarez, along with several other parents, reached out to me. All told me their children were students at Sinton High School, and all of them were denied an opportunity to take certain courses. Suarez says these issues in part stem from conflicting rules and requirements in the district's course catalog. In a statement to Chris 6 News, the district also wrote that they are actively addressing the concerns around dual enrollment courses.
When you have administrators at the top do things that should not be done, it shouldn't be allowed.
Many of you have either visited the YMCA of the Coastal Bend, taken a fitness class, or signed your kid up for a youth camp. Well, some big changes are coming. The facility is going independent and parting ways with its national brand. And you're probably wondering what that means. Well, back in May, the center was given an ultimatum from the YUSA, telling them to close the facility or disaffiliate themselves. Rather than close, they decided to do things on their own. Now they're looking for donors to offer the center's naming rights, including high-profile attorney Thomas J. Henry. And the new transition won't change anything for members. The facility will continue to offer a variety of classes and youth camps with no increase on membership rates.
The No Tax on Tips Act is one part of President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. I'm Erin Holly, your neighborhood news reporter in Rockport, talking to employees who rely on tips. Some tell me this part of the bill isn't as beautiful for service industry workers as it seems. President Trump signed the One Big Beautiful Bill into law that includes the No Tax on Tips Act. Turns out it only introduces a federal income tax deduction for reported tips, only cash tips, only up to $25,000 worth of tips per year, and it expires in 2028. Service workers like Kate White don't think this will benefit them because of how they file their taxes. The No Tax on Tips Act applies to all qualifying tip earnings for the 2025 tax year.
Hey there, good morning, happy Thursday. So things will be off towards a drier start for us here in the Coastal Bend as drier air is coming into the area with that next plume and heavier, thicker batch of Saharan dust that's now arriving here in the Coastal Bend. It's going to give us a bit of a cooler, drier start to our morning. You'll see our temperatures will kind of be lagging a bit along with our feel-like temperatures. So it's going to feel a little less muggy and oppressive heading out the door. Now our air temperatures, those are going to skyrocket though as we head towards this afternoon. And along with drier air, rain chances are not going to be in the forecast at all for us today. So very different picture from what we had yesterday afternoon, certainly. Right now, taking a look at our Whataburger Field sky cam, we can see that widespread thick haze over our skies right now. A little bit partly cloudy skies, but what's going to really obstruct our view from our sunrise here is going to be that really thick plume of haze coming in with that Saharan dust. So that's going to cause a bit of an issue, especially for air quality, but I'll get into that in the next few minutes. Right now, let's actually go over our rain event from yesterday where we saw very heavy rainfall happening, particularly here in Nueces County. We saw anywhere near maybe an inch, maybe up to 2 inches potentially in rainfall totals, especially on the south side. And in terms of how that caused that flash flood warning that briefly went into place, it's because the amount of rainfall that was happening in a very short amount of time, around 30-45 minutes, when we had those heavier showers and downpours and thunderstorms coming on through. But again, for today, very different story. We're going to have drier air settling in with that Saharan dust. So we can see, looking at Moisture Tracker, a lot of hues of yellow here on our map, noting how things are going to be significantly drier here in the forecast. And looking at Doppler radar, I'm not going to see a hint of any rainfall or precipitation happening across the Coastal Bend. That's going to extend throughout the morning hours and heading towards this afternoon all day. Now, temperature-wise, things will be starting off again towards a muggy note in the sense of having temperatures still reaching those lower 80s, but I promise you it's not going to feel quite as muggy as it's felt so far for the majority of our work week here in the Coastal Bend. Again, we're going to see those warmer temperatures maybe getting closer towards those lower to upper 90s throughout some neighborhoods. Going to have a forecast high temperature of 94 degrees here in Corpus Christi under mostly sunny skies. And again, widespread haze is going to stick around the forecast ahead for us tomorrow before that haze begins to dissipate a bit Friday afternoon. And by that happens, we'll see moisture come back into the area, giving us rain chances for this weekend.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
All right, folks, here are the 6 things that you need to know.
Governor Greg Abbott says the state legislature will take up redistricting in a special session later this month. On Wednesday, Abbott directed lawmakers to redraw the state's congressional map as Republicans try to retain a narrow U.S. House majority. Democrats need a net gain of just 3 seats to win the House in next year's midterms. In Texas, Republicans currently control 25 of the state's 38 House seats. But some Republicans are hoping redrawing the maps and thus changing how votes are counted could result in the GOP picking up as many as 5 additional seats. The special session begins on July 21st.
All right, for anyone who has had trouble in the past canceling a pesky subscription, well, I've got bad news for you. The U.S. Appeals Court has blocked a rule that would have required businesses to make it as easy for consumers to cancel subscriptions and memberships as it was to sign up for them. The click to cancel rule was passed by the Federal Trade Commission during the Biden administration, but the appeals court said that the FTC failed to conduct a preliminary analysis of the costs and benefits of the rule, which was set to take effect next week. The proposed rule was aimed at addressing common issues with subscription plans.
The Secret Service agents involved in securing President Trump at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania have been suspended. Trump was shot in the ear and a rally-goer was killed during the Butler rally on July 13, 2024. The suspensions include a counter-sniper and an agent who was on Trump's detail. At least 2 agents are reportedly appealing the suspensions, and sources say the suspensions range from a few weeks to over a month.
And the Department of Justice has indicted the co-founder and CEO of Oak View Group for allegedly rigging the bidding process to develop the Moody Center in Austin. Timothy Lewicki is accused of conspiring with a competitor to rig the contract. Now, OVG develops and provides a variety of services to entertainment venues. That does include the American Bank Center. The group has been at the center of a controversial naming rights decision for the venue. You can read more about the indictment on our website. That's KrisTV.com.
Well, here's some positive news now. The Bait Jammin' Concert and Cinema Series continues tonight at the Cole Park Amphitheater. Live music starts at 7:30 and runs until 10. And on Friday, be sure to stop by and check out Moana 2. The movie starts after sunset, so be sure to bring your lawn chairs and blankets to enjoy the movie. The event is free and open to the public.
And Corpus Christi Animal Care Services is having their Summer Fest Adoption Special. For the entire month of July, adoption fees will be waived. Adoptions include the microchip, spay or neuter, and age-appropriate vaccines. Stop by Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. to find your new 4-legged companion. Animal Care Services is located at 2626 Holly Road.
All right, now taking it outside, looking at our view atop our Skycam over SBID. You can see a lot of folks hitting those roadways, getting their morning started on this Thursday. We can also see, taking a small view up in our skies, got some widespread haze here in the coastal bend from that latest thickest batch of Saharan dust pushing its way into the coastal bend. So you definitely want to probably have those windows rolled up so you don't get those dusty conditions into your car at the moment, making, of course, that poor air quality that's going to be out in our atmosphere. Of course, get into your car right now as you drive and head your way on over to work or to your destination in any way. So right now, taking a look at our traffic flow heading from the JFK Causeway going to and from the island. Looking at easy driving conditions this morning. Heading on over to Flower Bluff. Got a little bit of a medium speed to a slow speed that you're going to encounter throughout portions of Waldron Road. All clear on Flower Bluff Drive. And a little bit more congestion as you get closer towards the gate at NAS Corpus Christi. Then moving now towards downtown. All clear on your drive on Ocean Drive, down to SPID and on Saratoga. Making for easy driving conditions on those 3 roadways this morning. That's it for Traffic Report. The details of your forecast coming up.
Julia, thank you so much. So Amazon Prime Days is underway and the company is now entering its 2nd decade of hosting the annual summer sale event. And while you take advantage of those sweet deals, beware of the thieves trying to take advantage of you. On this morning's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan talks about ways to protect your items and has tips from Amazon about what to do if your packages are stolen.
Online shoppers are scoring hot summer deals right now with retailers like Amazon offering big discounts.
Prime Day is really exciting for us.
Richard Rocha with Amazon says Prime Day members bought 375 million items worldwide in 2023. Other big box retailers are also slashing prices. And while shoppers are seizing the discounts, thieves could be seizing the opportunity to steal your stuff as packages pile up outside homes.
It is a crime of opportunity.
Corey Colleton with Security.org says they looked at crime data and found more than 58 million packages were stolen in 2024. While Amazon says the vast majority of packages are delivered without any issues, there are things customers can do to make sure their items are safe.
They're able to track their packages in real time when they're about to be delivered. And then when they do get delivered, there's a photo that's sent to you so you can see exactly where it was put.
Rocha also says customers can leave notes about their delivery, like drop off behind the house. Certain items can be delivered to a hub locker at no additional cost, and you can schedule to have your items delivered on a day you are home. So what should you do if your packages are stolen? Amazon says call customer service to get it fixed.
We're all about convenience, so we want to make sure that customers have the best way that they can get something that's most convenient for them.
And call the police.
It is a crime and it's taking place on your personal property.
While security cameras can help you catch thieves in the act, law enforcement recommends not engaging with the thief. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
All right, folks. Well, astronomers have confirmed an interstellar object that is zipping through our solar system. The object, believed to be a comet, is only the third celestial body from beyond our solar system ever to be observed in our corner of the universe. Astronomers say its speed and trajectory are the main indicators that this visitor originated from outside of our solar system. NASA published the news of the object on July 2nd. Internet sleuths were quick to point out that, as you can see in your on your screen right now, it's the same date as the visitors in the movie Independence Day actually showed up.
You never know.
Uh-oh.
You believe in aliens?
No.
You never know with those movies.
I mean, the universe is so big, but I think there are things out there, just not like the things that we imagine in the movie.
Yeah, they're going to be totally different.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's a better outcome, too, if they do end up being aliens.
Why do you think they would like us? Do you think they would like humans?
I'd like to think I'm a pretty likable guy.
Oh, so for you personally.
You specifically. So if you're abducted, it's because they like you. Oh my goodness.
Well, we may not see those coming from the sky today, but any rain showers coming from the sky?
No, not today. Not today. It's going to be a very different picture from yesterday, what we saw. Of course, we've been talking about a lot. Those really heavy downpours that happened during the afternoon hours yesterday, triggering that flash flood warning that went into place in New Essex County. Today, that's a thing of the past. Dry conditions coming in with that thicker batch of Saharan dust arriving here in the area, making for this view that we see right now on our Snoopy's Pier Sky Cam, sponsored by CCAC. We can see partly cloudy skies, but that widespread haze is causing a bit of an issue in terms of our air quality, and it's going to last towards this upcoming weekend, even though we're expecting that Saharan dust to begin dissipating, I should say, as early as tomorrow afternoon. Looking at Doppler radar, we can see things are going to be off to a very dry note here in the coastal bend. This will be our picture all throughout the morning and all throughout the day today on our Thursday, with that dry air settling in. No rainfall expected in the forecast for us today. So that plume of Saharan dust, that thicker batch that I just mentioned, is right now impacting us at this very moment, passing its way through the coastal bend. It's going to linger in our area all throughout the afternoon and then begin to dissipate as we look ahead towards your Friday midday, and certainly by the afternoon it's going to start to make its way up towards Houston, towards northern portions of the Lone Star State, leaving us to be a little bit more clear and some relief from those hazy conditions that we're enduring right now at the moment, and that's going to continue toward this upcoming weekend. Looking at our forecast today, going to have an afternoon high temperature of 94 degrees, looking at mostly sunny skies, hazy again conditions expected in the forecast today. So that's going to cause a bit of an issue, like I mentioned, for our air quality. Going to be dropping down towards that moderate zone, making it a bit uncomfortable for some folks heading outdoors at all today and tomorrow. So let's go ahead and get into what that means for your dog walking forecast. First, introducing our stars. We got Lily and Buster, maybe potentially celebrating some birthdays not too long ago with that photo. So wish them a happy birthday there. Now, in terms of conditions, again, widespread haze, so you want to make sure you're erring on the side of caution if you are a bit more sensitive to that very thick Saharan dust that's going to be in our area today and tomorrow. We'll see our temperatures increasing, gain towards those upper 80s by midday and certainly by those 90s as we head towards the afternoon. So again, hot conditions here in the forecast as we'll eventually reach those afternoon high temperatures in the lower 90s, flirting a little bit with those mid to upper 90s for some other neighborhoods here. But we can see across the coastal bend, looking at some hues of yellow here in the forecast, noting again that drier air is going to continue to be in our area, but moisture will be returning to our area as we head towards your Friday night. tonight and going in towards your upcoming weekend. So that's going to give us our rain chances coming back into the forecast. After that, Saharan dust begins to dissipate for us. Again, allowing some rainfall opportunities this weekend before you dry out again early part of next week.
All righty, Julia, thank you so much. And folks, thank you so much as always for joining us on Chris 6 Sunrise. We hope to see you again tomorrow morning. Otherwise, we also have a show at noon.
Yeah, we do. We'll see you soon.